What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to my channel, Action Creature. Today we're looking at the Hiya Toys Godzilla 2019 and the SH Monsterarts 2019. Which one is better? Let's find out. So, this has been a pretty widely discussed topic on the Facebook groups, on Toho Kingdom, just pretty much any Godzilla place where fans dwell. People are talking about these two lines and which one is better. A lot of people like to say, the Hiya Toys has a better sculpt and it's cheaper, so that makes it better. And some other people will say that the Monsterarts has a lot better articulation, so that makes it better. But does it really have that much better articulation? And that's kind of what I want to discuss today. Like, is the articulation on this figure so good to the point that you should pass up this $50 figure that looks amazing just to get the SH Monsterarts version? So here we have both the figures looking up, and right off the bat you could tell the Monsterarts version is looking up a lot more. But does that mean that this is not possible to achieve with the Hiya Toys version? Well, let's pose them around and see if we can get anything close to that. So what we can do is we can move his tail up as much as we can, arc his legs back to get his head up a little bit more, and then as you can see he's kind of looking up a little bit more now, but still not as much as the Monsterarts. But it's just kind of your preference here. Do you need to pay more money to get him to look straight up? I mean, you could, if you just want to pose a Godzilla with the breath in, looking, with him shooting straight up like that poster. But if you want that, Hiya Toys has another version of this figure where it has an interchangeable neck and the head is looking straight up, and you could get that as well for $50. So when it comes to head articulation, I feel like, yeah, the Monsterarts does have an edge, but is it justified? Is it justified paying more for that slight edge when you have something that can get pretty close? I could still do a swim pose and everything, and there is also another version of this figure that has a accessory, which Monsterarts usually don't come with at all. There's been a lot of re-releases of this, and it doesn't have any accessories. This is one of the ones that does, though. But like I was saying, is it worth it to get this when you can get the $50 version of this that has a swappable neck that can look straight up? To me, I honestly don't think so. I think you should go with the Hiya in that case, but that's up to you. So let's just kind of get into some more poses here. So here we have a pretty dynamic pose. If you're wanting to pose your Godzilla figures, dynamically. As you can see, the Hiya Toys can replicate that just as well as the Monsterarts. So, I mean, yeah, Monsterarts has all this articulation and ball joints, but the Hiya Toys can still do it. So here we have another just crazy pose here, and as you can see, the Hiya Toys can also do it. Also, I want to mention I had a little bit of a tougher time getting the Monsterarts to do this because his leg joints are a little bit looser than the Hiya Toys. And that's another thing with Hiya Toys as well. Their joints and just the overall figure itself feels very sturdy. Like, I feel like I could just pick this figure up and just fucking chunk it straight at the ground and it wouldn't break. Whereas Monsterarts, I feel like if I did that, it would probably go into a million pieces. So you might have been thinking, oh, this guy's just ignoring the torso articulation, because obviously the torso articulation is where the Monsterarts just excels and the Hiya Toys version fails. Well, here we have the Monsterarts looking, pretty much straight down, and on the left there, that's the Hiya Toys looking down as far as it can. But I will say you can still achieve you could still get the Hiya Toys version to look down. You just kind of have to get there in a different way. So you would have to straighten out the legs, lower the tail a little bit, and there you go. He's looking down now, somewhat at least. So that is one place where the Hiya Toys version really fails. But I do feel like if Hiya Toys could figure out a better torso setup for their Godzilla figures to allow more range, then it's really just game over, because this is the only place where the Hiya Toys really chokes up and isn't able to compare to the Monsterarts. But as you can see here, you can still achieve it. It's not impossible. You can get Godzilla to look down. It's just not, it won't look the same as the Monsterarts. So what about leaning side to side? Like I said before, the torso is a pretty weak spot for the Hiya Toys Godzilla, so it's hard to get it to lean. Actually, it's not even possible to lean the torso. But there is a way you can achieve the effect of Godzilla leaning. You would just have to bend this leg in, sort of turn it in a little bit, straighten out this leg. You'll want to twist the body slightly and then tilt the head to the side. So it will kind of look like this. Sorry. It'll kind of look like this. All right. So we have Godzilla leaning to the side a bit there, and it looks like he's about to fall over. And it still achieves somewhat the same effect as the Monsterarts there. Obviously, it's not perfect, but you can sort of achieve the effect if you work toward it. It's just pretty unfortunate that the torso is so limited on the Hiya Toys. That's really the main thing. So you kind of have to work around that. Up next here we have both of their tails. This is the Monsterarts, this is the Hiya Toys version. As you can see with the Monsterarts, they engineered the tail in such a way that it really doesn't get a good bend. Like, it pretty much it curves. You get all the curve right here, and then it just straightens out, and then you get a little bit more right there. You push it any more, and it's gonna break. Like, it's just not moving. They're stuck. Like, they just cannot go any further than that. It just stays straight. Whereas on the Hiya Toys, it actually has a nice natural curve to it, and not to mention all the paint it has, so it just looks better anyways. So you got that nice curve with the Hiya Toys, whereas the Godzilla tail can't even make a curve. It just looks awkward if you try to curve it. So this is actually one place where the articulation is even better on the Hiya Toys than the Monsterarts. Well, how about moving the tail upwards? Well, you can move this tail up about that much, and it's pretty much the same. So you're not really getting anything better with the Monsterarts tail. So straightening the tails out for a swim pose, the Hiya Toys can do as well. The Monsterarts can do, but the tail will like kind of sag a little bit over time, whereas the Hiya Toys just stay straight. The Monsterarts just, there's something funky just going on with this tail. I don't know what they did, but it just doesn't move right. But yeah, so there you have it. The Monsterarts isn't giving you anything that the Hiya Toys version doesn't give you as well. So there is that. So at the end of the day, what are you really getting with the Monsterarts that you're not getting with the Hiya Toys version for less money? Really, all you're getting is a little bit better head articulation and torso articulation. That's it. You're not getting a better sculpt, you're not getting better paint, you're just getting a little bit better articulation in the torso and the head. That is it. The arms are basically the same. The legs are the same. The tail on the Hiya Toys is better. So, yeah, that's really all the Monsterarts has to offer. And the Hiya Toys is, $20-$30 cheaper. So at the end of the day, which one are you going to go with? I think the answer should be clear. The Hiya Toys is the winner here. I didn't really go over sculpt and paint because that just really speaks for itself. I mean, just look at this. It has way more paint already than the Monsterarts. The Monsterarts is just one color, and the sculpt is obviously a lot more accurate and closer to the movie than the Monsterarts is. And, Monsterarts has released this figure so many times that they've had chances to update this figure and make the sculpt better and add more paint to it and just give us like a 2.0 version of this. But they haven't. They keep doing toothpaste repaints and translucent repaints, which are cool, but it does. They don't change the sculpt at all or anything. The overall figure stays the same. So at the end of the day, I'm saying go Hiya Toys all the way. It's a lot better figure and better bang for your buck. Um, I'm not saying that Hiya Toys is better than every single Monsterarts figure. I'm just saying when it comes to the specific Monsterverse universe and those figures within it, I think Hiya Toys wins every time. Their Mothra is better, their Rodan is better, and I'm sure their King Ghidorah will be better than the Monsterarts. They aren't stylized like Monsterarts. They have the accurate sculpts. They have paint on them. They look really good. They have basically the same articulation, if not better in some places. So, yeah, guys, that's what I think. Hiya Toys for the win. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you on the next one. Oh, and I do have a news video coming out for you guys tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff to cover, so I'm excited for that. Catch you on the next one. See ya.